What's up, guys? Ken over here at Backbodymystery. Right now, we're in recovery. Today, we're going to be talking about podcasts, the history of podcasts, how podcasts have changed the landscape of how we do podcasts. But I got a special guest here, Sir Goodwin from Unapologetic Podcast. But before we get started, slap like and share. That's the best way to support the channel. So, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. We're going to have a good conversation about podcasts. You have a podcast that's quite longer than mine or been around longer than mine that I'm still a little new to the game. But let's go into some topics about your podcast. Where can they find you and what's your topic or content?
You could find Unapologetic Podcast on all podcast platforms and all social media platforms. UNAPOLLAGETIC. It's a funny spelling because I wanted to make sure that it was my hashtag. So if you put it in and spell it that way, I'll pop right up. If you put in the regular way to spell unapologetic, you're going to get thousands of unapologetic podcasts. So that's our unique spelling.
What do you do for fun? You know, when you're not doing podcast, what are you into? What are you, video games, comic books, anime? Are you into anything that you're playing or watching today?
You know, back in the day, video games was my thing. You know, all the NBA 2Ks and especially MLB, the show. Those are some of my favorite games. I don't play too much these days unless my son begs me to come in and he beat me up real quick. But yes, but I do keep up with it, you know, because it's such a mainstream thing now from kids to people older than me. So, and the graphics and stuff, everything is just crazy how it is so real. How they get all the facial features and stuff down packed. It's a wonderful thing to watch. I started with, I did have the before Nintendo. What was that?
Before the first Nintendo?
No. Before came the, what was the name of that thing? Can I curse on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Atari.
Okay.
That's how far back I go.
Oh, you Atari.
Yeah.
Okay. You Atari 2600, all that stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite system before you, I guess, I don't want to say got away from it, but I guess got responsibilities?
I would say the first PlayStation. I don't think I went past PlayStation 1.
Okay.
I didn't have a PlayStation 2, but I did have an Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
Sega Genesis, when I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
PlayStation really changed. That's when you had, I think it was on a CD or a disc for PlayStation.
Compact disc.
Right. And that's as far as I went.
I feel like PlayStation 2 was like that was it. When I got that, it was over with. Your podcast has been around for quite some time. Why did you start your podcast?
We've been around this is year 6. And why did I start the podcast? We actually didn't start off as a podcast. We just started off as just a show, doing Facebook Live.
Okay.
And podcasts were around then, but they weren't as popular. So when we got started, it just kind of went from just doing a show to us buying a board and recording it as a podcast. And now, as you know, there's a podcast for everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just kind of, my friends and I have always we've never been camera shy. I've always had the video cameras, you know, that we would record stuff. We would act like we were doing shows. We would imitate Sports Center and stuff like that. Cool. So we've been doing it without doing it before all the YouTubes and stuff came out. You know, we were on VHS and camcorders doing it. I have a lot of footage of that back in the day.
I ain't heard the word camcorder in a while. So in the 2000s, right, it was called audio blogging.
Okay.
You know, that's when you just recorded audio and just play it back, kind of like listening to a radio, but it was pre-recorded. Mm-hmm. Then, you know, the birth of podcast was kind of like with somebody named Adam Curry, and that kind of like the birth of podcasting. That was in like 2004. Then you got Apple add-on podcast. Apple Podcast was on iTunes 2005. Then the series of launches of podcasts kind of started in really 2014. That was like, they call it the I'm going to say arcade boom, but podcast boom. But podcast blew up right before the pandemic. 2019 to 2024 is people were stuck at home. So podcasting became popular.